Vivian and welcome to my very first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to sew a non-medical grade fabric face mask. They're reusable, they're washable, just wash them with the rest of your clothes like you would normally, and you can use them again and again. So the first thing you're going to do is print your pattern piece. I will leave a link to garmatech.ca in the description box below. That is where I printed this pattern from. The pattern has 3 sizes. The largest size typically fits most men, the medium size typically fits most women, and the smallest size typically fits children under 12. First, you're going to cut out the front of your mask. So pick the fabric that's going to be the front, fold it in half, right sides together, and cut out 1 double. Next, you're going to cut out the lining of your mask. So take the fabric you're going to use for your lining. I used a corresponding color, fold it right sides together, and cut out 1 double. Then we're going to make a pocket piece. So instead of cutting another pattern, I use the same pattern and I just shorten it by about 1 inch by just folding over the edge. This is going to be the pocket piece that allows you to add a filter on the inside for added protection. So I've just folded it so it's a little bit shorter, and now I'm cutting another double, again right sides together. Next, you're going to sew a straight stitch down the curved edge of each of these 3 pieces. I used a fairly narrow seam allowance and backstitch at the beginning and at the end of my seams. This step is optional, but it's helpful to press your seams down with an iron so that it's less bulky. Now you're going to be hemming each side of the pocket piece down, so it's helpful to double fold it and iron it down before you sew. Sew a straight stitch down each side of the pocket to hem it down. Now we're going to be putting all 3 pieces together. So first take the front of your mask and put it right sides together with the pocket piece. You're going to sandwich the pocket piece in between the front of your mask and the lining of your mask, making sure the front of your mask is right sides together with the pocket piece, and it's also right sides together with the lining piece. So you've got this kind of sandwich together, and line up the seams along the top as best you can. Pin it down to make it easier to sew, and you're going to stitch right along the top with a straight stitch across the top of the mask. Make sure you backstitch a little bit at the beginning and at the end of your seam. When you turn this inside out later, that's going to keep it from falling apart when you pull on it. Now we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. Line up the seams of your 3 pieces in the middle there and pin it together and sew a straight stitch across the bottom of the mask. Next, turn your mask right side out. If you really want to make it pretty, you should iron the top and bottom seams at this point, but I'm lazy, so I skipped this step. Now you can also see the pocket on the back. This is where you can slide in an extra filter or some more fabric to make it a little bit more effective. Now we're going to stitch an extra little seam down across the top along the bridge of the nose. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, just sew a straight stitch across the bridge of the nose. This is where we're going to thread in a wire later to pinch it down over your nose and give you a tighter seal. Now it's time to make your ear loops. You can use elastic, but I find it too stiff, so I prefer to use a strip of cotton lycra, which is just a stretchy cotton fabric. I cut a 5-inch strip for each side. Take your mask and fold in the edges towards the inside. Just wriggle it down a bit, use your fingers to press it down. About a 1/4 inch should do it. And now you're gonna take whatever you're using for your elastic. Here I'm using my cotton lycra. I'm folding it in half to make it a little narrower and just sticking a little bit on the inside, about a 1/4 inch on each side to make a loop and stitching it down. Then do the same thing for the other side. And we're almost done. Now we're just going to add the wire into the seam that we cut. So I use floral wire, but you can also use pipe cleaner or whatever else you have. Just measure a few inches across the bridge of the nose, twist the edges of the wire so you don't have a very sharp end, and thread it through your seam. And that's it. There you have it. Don't forget to wash your hands, don't touch your face, and stay safe.